Okay, so it's the 22nd of June, 2023, on the Katrine Road, and just taking the dogs for a drive, and well, for a walk actually. I don't normally come this way, but it's such a beautiful day, and I thought that I'm going to try, I'm just trying to position the camera right now in a way that it stays when I'm driving. And I still don't know if it's going to, once I start driving, if it's going to stay propped up or not. So we shall see, okay? But basically, this is Katrine Drive in the Avon Valley. And this is one of the most beautiful, this is a scenic road. This is a beautiful, beautiful part of the Avon Valley. It's historical. We've missed the homestead and we've missed the church, which are just stunning. I would have loved to have shown you that in the video footage, but yeah, it wasn't until after I drove past that I thought, no, I will actually pull over and set up the camera, the video. I will actually pull it over and set it up, because this is one of the most spectacular rides. Yes, I had a feeling that was going to happen. It's also bumpy. This is too dangerous. Hang on a second. Oh, this is annoying. Yeah, I had a feeling that might happen. Okay, hang on a minute. Sorry about this, everyone. This is actually, it's a very outback road, and it's quite bumpy. Let me just pull up the side of the road and we will try again. Yeah, I actually feeling determined now. Isn't it funny that when you decide you're determined to do something, that sometimes you just go, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make it happen. So the thing that made it fall was I've got to put something in front to stop it from falling forward when we hit the bumpy bumps. So that might work. Okay, everyone. If this doesn't work, that's okay. I call defeat, okay? So anyways, here we go again. Let's see if it works. So this is literally one of the most beautiful historical scenic roads of Northam. It's got some old homesteads, some old buildings that have been are ruins. Old homestead ruins. It's got some active, really old homesteads that have been maintained in really amazing condition, that are sometimes open to the public. They're privately owned and they sometimes open it up. And then there's this beautiful, beautiful old church that's can be hired out, but apart from that, it's not open because the only reason I'm prepared to fix this one up is because it fell over exactly as we hit a big, what do you call it? A big turning point for a car. So it's not really working, is it? You're not going to believe it, but I actually bought a camera, a reversing camera and a dash cam for the... I actually bought the reversing camera for this ute because it's hard to reverse, but my husband put it in the camper van to use it as a dash cam because he says, it can go both ways. You can actually turn it into a like a camera to see what's happening in front of you. And I'm thinking that I wouldn't mind setting something like that up for my future videos, because especially when I start doing some traveling, I thought maybe there's some really beautiful parts of Australia, everyone. And, when you're in another country, like this is also a particularly stunning day. And, yeah, sometimes people just don't see these old country roads, and, yeah, they just, yeah, you don't see, sometimes you see little bits like this in movies and stuff. stuff, but not really. I mean, you do and you don't, yeah. Depends on what movie you're watching. Anyways, this is Katrine Road, everyone. Isn't it stunning? And it's a beautiful, very chilly winter day. So the air's got a, even though the sun's out, the air's quite cold. So life, hey? Life. So when I post this video onto my YouTube, really what I'm doing is showing you the beauty of where I live and the blessings of where I live, and sharing with you the blessings. I'm just taking the dogs for their walk, but we're doing a scenic drive because I just need a bit of an adventure. So this is my adventure of today, and yeah, I used to do a lot of driving around with my husband. We did a lot of sightseeing and exploring, and yeah, on a regular basis actually. Yeah, it was definitely one of our joy times, and yeah, we just like, yeah, open road sort of. We never went too far, but we always were excited about when we did go on our long travel, which as of yet still hasn't happened. We still haven't had our little camper van holiday in the camper van. And I can tell you right now, I'm training the dogs really well to be able to travel. Yeah. So, yeah, life, hey everyone. I find I've got to grab the small joys. You know, like I live in a stunning part of WA. I am living with heartbreak. Oh, is this person okay? Yeah, she's just collecting kindling for her. She's collecting wood for her home, for her fire. So, yeah, I live in probably one of the most beautiful parts of Australia. Well, there's very beautiful parts in Queensland. There are places more beautiful than the Avon Wheatbelt, but it is one of the more beautiful places. And yeah, it was always a shared dream, shared lifestyle. And I have to admit that I struggle. I mean, every now and again I have this real euphoric peace about the situation, about where I am, and just when I'm so in the moment, just divinely euphoric. A lot of the time I have this really underlying deep despair and sadness from this place of heartbreak for doing it alone, you know, like not having my beloved by my side, like this drive today. My beloved's not the vehicle with us, with me and the dogs. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of twin flame learning, like so on a 5D level. We're connected, so even if we're not connected on a 3D level, on a 5D level we are, and so we're not really ever separated. We never will be. We're always going to be connected. So it's like it is like a death, you know, like, you know, when people die and you're like, that person's so connected to you and they're always with you even though they don't exist on planet Earth. Well, that's what it's like when you're connected to your twin flame 2D but not in 3D connection. Like the 3D separation is just excruciating. And the difference between it being a death, like someone who actually has physically died, compared to someone who's physically on the planet, but you're not in each other's spheres or sharing each other's lives, the difference is with the latter, with the 3D person who exists, it's your twin flame. There's always that knowing and that you can meet in real life, in 3D physical reality, upon things aligning, upon the lessons being learned, upon the hearts being opened up, the minds being opened up. So when the two twins are aligned on the same timeline, then they can unite or reunite. And yeah, it's a very painful journey, everyone, to deeply love someone where there's all these blocks in the relationship because of turbulent healing. And it would be so wonderful if you could just shut the heart down and not care or not love, but when it's your twin, when you're soul connected, you can't shut the love down. It's very painful. It's extremely painful. And I like this moment. I'm enjoying everything about this, of course. Like, I'm completely and utterly loving this experience and appreciating the blessings of where I am. Completely appreciating the beauty and the blessings, present to the blessings, and also acknowledging the deep anguish in my body, my heart, at the same time. It's a really bizarre feeling. It's like two different people living in the same body, or two different really contrasting energies living in the same, coexisting in the same physical body. It's bizarre. That's the graveyard up there, the cemetery that Anthony and I were talking about getting buried in. He said, no one's going to visit me anyways. Because back then he reckons he had no connection with his family and they didn't care about him, and now he turns around and says they're more, we don't say it, but in actions, like the way he's been making out they're more important than me and him and me. But the funny thing is, when we first moved up here, he thought they're never even going to visit me, no one will even know where I'm buried, they won't care where I'm buried, it's just you and me, baby. And it's like, yeah, right, just you and me, baby. Oh, what happened to that? Hey, what happened to that? Anthony McLeod, what happened to, it's just you and me, baby. My best friend, my big love, what happened to that, hey? And these people he reckons wouldn't care if he died and they wouldn't come to his cemetery, they're the very people he's got his full loyalty to at the moment. And that loyalty is based on fear and control and dominance and game playing and lies and so insanely low energy and no adventures, no fun, no joy, no love, no kindness, no compassion, no care, no laughter, no playfulness, no inspiration, no motivation, no dreaming, no creativity, like giving up all that we were sharing, all that we were experiencing. Yeah. So we got Morby Cottage on the left, which is a really, really old, it's one of the first buildings that got built, and it's open every Sunday for viewing. It's so interesting when you look at those old buildings, how they're built. They're really small, tiny, like the roofs are really small, like the ceilings are low, and yeah, quite interesting. And wood dirt floors, and the way houses were back then compared to how they are now is very, not the main river. You know how I normally go along? I normally go along. I've just got to try to remember how to get to. I don't normally come this way, to tell you the truth. So this is another way into Northam town. So straight ahead goes into Northam, but we are heading to the river on the 2J side of Northam. And basically, what's happened is I normally walk the dogs on the. Oh no, I've gone the wrong way. Okay, that's okay, you get to see Northam. So this is the one of the back roads. This is the industrial area of Northam. And to the left is the stock and feed place that I get dog food from. To the very left there. Oh, that car came out a bit fast. It's interesting, isn't it? The industrial area. But yeah, we've gone the long way to where I'm walking the dogs, which is interesting, but that's okay because I took the wrong turn, but that's okay because you get to see out the industrial side of of a country town. Blackwell's Plumbing to the left, these amazing plumbers who have let me pay them off for the last lot of work they did. Something gone on here. Are the lights not working?
Yeah, I know, the remote's had it.
Oh, okay. The train track lights aren't working. So there's someone there with a light to someone there with the light. So York and Beverley to the left, Northam town and Perth to the right, and just to the far left of us was APM where my husband was working for a little while. To the left is Bunnings. Yeah, we've got a lot going on here in this town. Oh, but anyways, to the that Blackwell's Plumbing, they did some work on my property because I had some water leaks and stuff. And Country Town, they let me pay them off. It's a fair big bill, it's $1,300, and I'm paying them off at $50 a fortnight, which a lot of people wouldn't accept, but in a country town they do have. Something getting set up here. I think we've got another event going on. There's a lot of stuff happening in good old Northam town. Hey, it's an active town. It's an active country town. This is called a provincial service town, the Wheatbelt. So basically, see this place here, this APN building car to the left of us. Like that could be my husband working. That's Rioli. Anyways, those are road trafficking people. My husband had a job doing that for a while, which was amazingly helpful for us getting the house finalised. I had a lot of work to do on my house, our house, sorry, is what I meant to say. And police are pulling people over for some weird random reason. There's a big line of people there, don't know why, and they're doing breathalyzing or something. Anyways, what was I going to say to you? It's 1 or 2 years of getting the house to a certain condition, and then could just relax in it for the rest of our life and just done bare maintenance. But yeah, there's a fair bit that we need to do to it to get it to that standard. And it was really helpful when he had that road trafficking job, and I also had my house reno and gardening work, and we were actually getting ahead there for a very short while. But now it's like bit by bit by bit, working on the property a little bit by bit by bit, and just doing what I can on a tiny budget with the very small amount of help that I get every now and again. I've got someone coming to help me work on the shower at the moment because I've got a water seal the walls and water seal the floor, and yeah, some go for help. So we're crossing the river right now. We're turning right on Clark Street, and we're heading to a part of the dog park area that I go to sometimes, not very often because there's often a lot of dogs here. To the left is 5 Clark, which is a house that to the very left of that just here where the Gravillies are. It's a house Anthony and I almost bought, but we end up getting we end up getting the property we bought instead. To the left is the high school, and it's amazing old school high school with the real old buildings. Absolutely beautiful, like historical building, amazing. And up there to the left is the Northam TAFE, and the lights aren't working there either. That's interesting. So there could be an accident there later on before the train track lights aren't working. So up ahead is Bert Russell Oval, and this is a football ground, and this is where my husband and I were bringing Alvin when he was littler. But the reason why I don't like coming here too often is because a lot of people bring their dogs here, and I rather walk on the river where it's really natural, because Alvin and Zena can just run like crazy, whereas here you've always got to be mindful of cars and other people with their dogs, and so I just go further up along the river so I can get away from more of the dogs, so that my dogs can be off lead. Up here we've got the horse poo, which is what I get for my my gardening. And I'm getting worms in the garden. It's beautiful. And up here we're going to get some dirt, rocky, bumpy roads, so I don't actually know if the camera's going to bounce around or not. To the right is the river. So this is the right-hand side of Northam, the river heading towards 2J. And where we normally walk is the left-hand side of the river, which is going up towards York, and that's Burlington Morris. That's to the left of where I live. This is to the right of where I live. We have a very beautiful river. Normally I like rally driving on these dirt roads, but because I've got the camera, I'm being careful. So to the right is the horse equine area, where you've seen me walk Alvin when he was younger. And the other day I walked Zena there and she was alright. I'm getting Zena, the little one, 7 months old, more socialised around other dogs and in different environments. So I'm happy about that. Because it is different. Having 2 dogs compared to 1 is very, very different. And they're 2 strong dogs as well. So, and I've got this thing about you've got to be accountable when you're a dog owner, and if you don't have full voice control over your dogs, you can't really be in public. And I've got a fair bit of voice control over both of them, but they're also both young. And see, to the right there's horses and sheep sometimes, and I still haven't had an experience with Zena with her chasing an animal, so I don't know if she will. But there's 2 horses there, so I'll have them keep them on their lead for the beginning of this walk, and I'll let them off when we get further away from the horses. Yeah, so this is another walk I do with the dogs, and this one, when the river's high, works really well because I'll just turn this camera around. I'll lodge it out. It's very lodged in. Turn around. Here we are. There's Alvin, and there's Zena. Oh, where is she? Oh yeah, there she is. The little black thing in the back. You can't. There she is. So we are now going to go for a walk along the river, and because when I do the videoing, I like to turn it around the other way because this is sideways. I like to put it upwards if I'm going to do a walk video. I was going to do a live, but for some reason my internet is still not working on my phone, even though I'm paying data for it. It's really annoying. Anyways, Lots of love. See, this is the funny thing is when you look at the camera, you look there, but the camera's actually there, which is counterintuitive to look at this little dot over here. doesn't make sense. That's why when you see people doing YouTubes and they're not looking at the camera, it's because the bit that you're supposed to look at, it's this tiny little spot to the left, but this screen is directly in front of you. When you do that, you're over here. It's just really weird. All right, God bless. I hope you enjoyed. That. We are now going for our walk. Zena, Alvin, and I. Woohoo! Lots of love. Okay. Bye bye. I've got to turn this off now. Bye bye.